When I watch anime by Kyoto Animation, I have discovered there are two types of KyoAni shows, those being the high-end works, such as Hibike and Hyoka, and the filler anime meant to grab some extra cash in between the big works, such as Amagi Brilliant Park and Phantom World. I had originally thought Maid would be among the latter, given that Hibike had recently ended, and their next big project, Violet Evergarden, was still on the horizon, so they needed something to fill in the gap. Though, given that Maid is in Project Favorites, I think that says I got a lot more than I bargained for. To start with, I love the characters in comedy. With those said characters, I gotta give the anime credit in how human they feel despite, a quarter of the cast not being human at all. Though, to my point, while having exaggerated moments, they feel like real people, which I wasn't expecting. But it wasn't an unwelcome surprise. I also give credit that all of the main and side casts stand out in some form or another. We got the Dark Dragon Fafnir, who both hates humans, yet loves their culture, and is probably the funniest solo character for me. We have Kana, the precious ball of adorable cuteness that makes me want to protect her. Lukoa, who is the aloof and carefree former goddess who's got the biggest proportions, if you know what I mean. There's Toru, whose character can't be described in a single sentence, containing a surprising amount of depth and development. Lastly, Kobayashi herself, who is the most human of the cast and is extremely down-to-earth and considerate toward the people around her. All of them stand out, which is a good thing for an anime like this, as most anime of this kind have problems with standing out among the rest of the crowd. With the comedy, I've always had a strong liking towards anime humor, often seen in another anime, and while I could give plenty of examples, there are too many to name off. The thing is, Maid comedy had me and my watching partner Corey dying from too much laughter, so I'll go as far as saying it's one of the best in terms of utilizing anime humor that I have seen, which is awesome to me. I also like a lot of the reoccurring gags, such as Toru's obsessive feelings for Kobayashi, Kana just being the adorable kid she is, Fafnir being Fafnir, and a human kid named Riko having Kana-gasms. Despite being used a lot, I never grew tired of these gags. In fact, I absolutely adored them. The comedy in Maid is just fucking awesome and I love it! With just the laugh-out-loud comedy and the amazing characters, you'd think that would be all there is to Maid and that those alone would make it a favorite of mine. Wrong! Well, yes, those two aspects help it. They aren't the full reason. For that, we go into the warmness of the anime, the surprising realism, and the last episode. For the first of these comes the warmness of Maid. The show has a special way of making the audience feel extremely comfy when showing how these characters both interact and overcome situations with each other. It generates this upbeat feeling like the time where Kobayashi first let Kana live with her and Toru when she was cast out of her original home. Or the time when we witnessed Fafnir come to appreciate his roommate despite hating humanity. Kana being fucking adorable, that's all you need for that. The entirety of episode 12, and Kobayashi having made Kana and Toru into her own family. All these moments and many, many more just warmed up my heart, giving me something to enjoy after a bad day. Which brings us to the effect it can have on people, or in this case, me. Maid is an anime that can improve my mood no matter how harsh, bad, or hard the day has been before it. I love this as it helped brighten my days, which always makes me happy, and I know I wasn't the only one as this had a similar effect on my watching partner Corey. However, what really came as a surprise to me was the realism it presented, which many anime of this kind would shy away from or outright not consider. For example, it explores the idea of mortality, highlighting upon how Toru will inevitably outlive Kobayashi and how she will react when the time does come. It's quite admirable in my eyes that this idea was explored upon rather than overlooked like most anime comedies where they would focus more so on just the humor as opposed to anything else. I also love Toru's response as saying that she will always treasure what she has with Kobayashi because she loves her and wants to be around her. She knows this better than everyone, but instead of focusing on that too heavily, she instead decides to focus more on the time now, which is commendable. This isn't the only example of realism in the anime, but it's the best example for me, and one I personally cared for the most about, as it reaffirmed my own belief in wanting to treasure the time I have with the people around me right now. The darker side and doubt will show up every so often, and the road may have bumps in it, but it does come back to this belief for both anime and myself. The final thing I wish to talk about with this video is another surprise the series had waiting for me, that being its final episode. To start with, the final episode is largely a tonal shift from the rest of the anime, having a much bigger emphasis on drama, but not going too far away from the lightheartedness of the anime. It takes a look at Toru's struggles that could form due to the differences of her and Kobayashi's different lifespans, but also adds in her father attempting to forcefully take her back to their home. This is pretty much the entire episode, and it's a fantastic finale. Neither of these things are strangers to anime like Maid Dragon. Unlike other anime that try to do these two plot points and fail, Maid Dragon succeeds with flying colors. The anime did have a lot of little drama moments, so the switch from tons of comedy and warmness to a drama-filled last episode was warranted and didn't feel like a huge slap in the face, unlike other anime I have watched. Now comes Toru's father, with the title Emperor of Demise, which is a name he totally lives up to. He and Toru do fight to see if she stays in the human world or if he takes her back, and while he does ultimately let Toru go, it's only after having Kobayashi help to defend Toru's choice. However, he doesn't suddenly become nice, saying he doesn't approve of their bond, and it sounds like he never will, but he leaves them for the time being. I love this, because if they suddenly got on good terms, it would feel like a slap in the face to how Toru's father was presented. With that, the anime ends on a happy note, which it earned. Maid Dragon has been one of the biggest surprises for me, as I expected this to be crap, but instead, it stands proud among my favorites.